you up. You know, we've been saying that the people are kind of find themselves in a little bit of a funk, and no surprise by things that are happening around us. But there's always things happening around us in this world. So this time around in Author's Corner, Kenneth Powe joins us, and he's written a book called Visions and Dreams. And they communicate from God or, you know, just us. Are they communication from God or just us is really the underlying theme, and it's the subtitle of the book. And it really, I took those words and I kind of flipped them around and flipped in another direction, and I thought, wow, they're interchangeable. So, Kenneth, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kate.
And we need to tell people, first of all, about your incredible career. Some of you listening may recognize Kenneth's name. I mean, you're an incredible musician, incredible pianist, and you've traveled all over the world. Was that a gift that you honed and had from an early age?
Well, yes. Actually, like most small children, I took music lessons when I was 8 years old, but I didn't really like them. You know, my mom made me go, and but over time, I started. Well, I wasn't a very socially outgoing person, so the piano became my friend. Later on, a few years after that, so I just started. I just kept at it until I started liking it, and so that's pretty much how it happened.
I love that description of what you just said, because I'm thinking to myself right now, I had piano lessons around that same age. Oh, Kenneth, I was terrible. I couldn't even, I mean, people say, oh, can't you even just play chopsticks? I was like, chopsticks was a concert, full-on concert for the neighborhood for me. So you are talented and skilled. Don't be shy about that. So you've met thousands and thousands of people. Is there a piece of music that you like the best that you play?
Oh, wow. Not particularly. I'm not the kind of person that restricts myself to a single genre of music. I just kind of think of it all as just music. It's all music to me. So I have lots of different favorites. I mean, it depends on, I guess, what time period you're talking about, what era, what region or country, or what style. You know, I have so many, but I'm partial to jazz. You probably picked up on that. Mm-hmm. I love jazz piano, and I have lots of jazz influences from the golden age. So I guess I do lean toward that. But the classics, you can never go wrong with that either.
All right, so give us, you're teasing us. Give us a classic.
Well, my favorite was Rachmaninoff, the Romantics. I love that era. And they said I played a lot of Chopin when I was taking lessons. So of course, though if you play classical piano, yeah, those are going to be very too heavily influences. They're heavy influences on your stylings. And piano, oh my gosh, there's so many in jazz. Well, we of course, we could have Herbie Hancock from the moderns. You know, before that, my all-time favorite is Art Tatum, Errol Garner, Ahmad Jamal, McCoy Tyner, people like that.
Nice.
And I could talk all day about that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You could. You've traveled all over the world, Germany, all these great places, and you definitely have fans in a lot of different ports. But this is different. So this book, Visions and Dreams, and are they communication from God or just us? As I said, tell us about why you wrote this book.
Well, I was just thinking about dreams and how dreams occur in the Bible, and how there were so many people in the Bible who God communicated with through dreams. And I thought, well, does God still do that? I mean, we don't have any definitive answer to that question. So I thought, well, I should look around and see what the different opinions are on that subject, and there are, it turns out, a lot of different opinions about it, and there's not really a consensus as to whether or not our dreams are really divine experiences, even though we all have them.
Right,
but they could be. You know?
Right. So it's interesting in finding that it had to be kind of fascinating for you, because you were exploring. You're like an explorer. So you're looking and reading one thing, and then you're moving to another part, biblically speaking, and putting this all together. Was that really fun doing the research?
It was fun. Because I enjoy a challenge. I like stretching myself and challenging myself intellectually, which is why which is what I love best about being a college professor. You know, doing the research and that and teaching. I love the teaching part as well, but the research part, I really got into it. So I was kind of in my element when I decided to research a topic strictly for my own curiosity and not for any occupational requirement or anything like that. So it was liberating in that regard.
Yeah. What do you hope people take away from reading your book?
Well, I hope that people, since dreams are a universal experience, universal experiences, I should say, that we should consider very carefully whether or not the dreams we have is it God trying to tell us something? Should I talk to? If I think I have a divine dream, should I talk to someone about it? Who should I talk to? Should I find my own answers? And I hope that we take the subject. I hope that the reader takes the subject seriously enough to want to explore the topic for themselves.
Yeah, boy, well said. So you know that as a college professor, it's about getting people interested, and you definitely have us interested. There's no question about it. I have to ask you about your lovely wife that I read about, Shelley. What does she think? It's like, oh boy, you're taking me on another adventure, Kenneth. What did she say?
Well, not much. She's been wonderful through the whole experience. She's very supportive, and I guess because I'm into a lot of other things, that it probably didn't surprise her very much that I'd attempted to write a book for the first time. I don't think she quite believed me when I told her I'm going to write a book, but nevertheless, she's been wonderful about it. She's been great, and she's been telling her friends and coworkers about it, and they've been calling me, congratulating me, and I was very touched by that.
Well, now you can add author to the list of things that you've done with this book, because you're a producer, recording artist, a composer, and you've worked in the music industry for more than 30 years. You're, a professor. You've taught literature and composition courses at lots of different colleges. And I think if we met, you probably could really work with me on chopsticks.
I hope I remember the tune. How does that go?
I got to sit next to an old piano and see if I can put my hands in the formation of that. It's so funny. You are such a delight. I love your sense of humor, and you're very, very uplifting, and you can feel that. So Kenneth Powe, we want to tell everyone, pick up the book Visions and Dreams, and you can get that on Amazon. And thanks so much for sharing your story with the listeners. We appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me, Kate.
And thanks to all of you for listening to this interview and this hour of the show. Make it count, everybody.